So before we put our rope in, we need to close up the bottom of our pocket. So I'm going to go in to my bag, open my pocket up and pull out those two lining panels that we put the hems on. You remember we put the folded hems on. Don't worry about the bag will recover. And we're just going to pull it out so that I will actually just trim off the very corners of the inside there, because that gets a little bit bulky. So I'm just taking off the very corners inside of my pocket. And I'm going to pull those together and match those two folded edges. Now normally I would say use a thread that matches your lining, or you can slip stitch it or do a ladder stitch, which is otherwise known as an invisible stitch if you want a hand stitch. I rarely hand stitch a pocket, has to be said. I don't do hand stitching unless it's absolutely necessary for something. So just clip all the way along, and then you're going to stitch along that bottom edge of your pocket using an 1/8 inch seam allowance. Now, as I say, I would normally suggest that you put a thread in that matches the rest of your lining. I, however, still have the red thread from my construction and from my top stitching, and I can't be messing about changing it, so I'm just going to do it in red. It will be inside the pocket, nobody will see. I know the lady that's having this bag and she won't notice, so she won't hold it against me. And that closes up the bottom of your pocket. And you can remove any threads that you've got. You can push those pocket linings back into your zipper pocket and push the corners out. So push the corners right in, and you really won't see. I know a lot of people, when I've sold them bags, have said, I don't understand how you actually make that work. So you need to push your lining right down into your bag, push it right out so that it sits nicely, and I'm just going to give the outside a quick press because it's a bit scrunched where it was pushed through. If I'm honest, I don't think this sort of bag actually matters if it's a bit scrunched. It's supposed to be quite casual. I think it's just force of habit that I tend to iron things. I don't iron as much as I should do, it has to be said, or press things as much as I should do. And there we go. So now all that remains to be done is to use the little marks that we made on our facing panel to make our holes and add our grommets. Now our grommets should be really nice and secure because we've got that strip of Decaville in the top there, which gives it real stability but without any thickness. So I'm going to go and do the grommets. There is a video at the beginning of the pattern to show you how to do grommets, and the practice is exactly the same with this as it is with these bits. So if you manage these, you'll just walk doing the top bit. So I'll come back to you and show you the rope afterwards.